Dream jobs don't exist. To first understand why dream jobs can't exist, we have to kind of define what a dream job is. So for me, I think in my career, I've had a total of 2 dream jobs. So the first one was when I was in college. It was senior year and I was trying to get any job. And I was struggling. Everyone in my class already applied to places and already landed their first job out of college. But I was like, hey, I have to pass classes, so I can't really focus on job hunting right now. So I waited until the very last minute to start applying to places. And the only job that seemed like really cool and what I wanted in terms of like the name and the salary and all of that was Google. So Google was my first dream job. The reason I wanted to work at Google was really stupid. In my head, it was like, oh, it's Google. It's really well known. So if you work there for a little bit, like you can get any other job after that, which is what a lot of times people like framed it as. Like Google's really good on your resume. Like you've heard that a lot. I've heard that a lot, you know? So I was like, I really need this job at Google because of that. And then secondly, Google pays a lot.
Hello, I like money.
And you don't do that much work from what I've heard. It's like a really good work-life balance with compensation. And I was like, well, that's great. That's exactly what I want out of a job. So I studied my butt off for it. I remember it was senior year. Everyone was going out to go party, have a good time because we were all leaving and graduating and we weren't gonna see each other again. So we were like, let's go crazy and have fun. But no, I had to sit inside and study stupid data structures and algorithms. And it was the worst. I hated it so much. And I remember I had to do this because Google is notorious for data structures and algorithm questions. So I was like, I have to make sure I nail this. So I remember studying so long and I got all the way from a phone screen to an on-site. And then after all of this, after the on-site, I had to do another follow-up interview because I think I flubbed one of the interviews on-site and they just wanted to make sure that I was like worthy enough for the job. And then this whole process was like a 3-month ordeal or something. It was crazy long amount of time. And I got rejected. While I was having fun at home for summer break, I got rejected. And I was like, well, damn, I spent so much time applying to this one job, putting all my eggs in this one Google basket that I just gave up on everything else. And it was bad. Like at that point, this was like midsummer, right? Any of the big companies, all their entry-level jobs were full. From people who, unlike me, were prioritizing finding a job and applied way earlier. It literally screwed me over because I had nothing to apply to. I had to like frantically search, apply to like hundreds of companies, try and get a job or else I'd be broke. I had loans to pay off, you know? So it was stressful. I really wish, like in hindsight, I shouldn't have put Google on such a high pedestal because that was all I was focused on for like 2 months. If I was applying to other places and interviewing at other places alongside Google, I would have been fine. Maybe I would have had another job and I wouldn't have been stressed out. But I was like, Google is the one place. I was like, that's the only place I want to work. Nothing else is great. That's the one. The rejection hurt a lot because it was like, oh, you spent so much time and effort in this one thing and they didn't like you. So you must be an awful person is how it feels when you get rejected by a place that you think is your dream, right? But let's go back to the beginning point, right? I think I just went off on a tangent here. What is a dream job? And I don't really know how to properly define it. It's kind of like a job where whatever interests you have matches up with what is expected from you at that job. So it's like a good intersection of what they need and what you want to do. I try to weigh jobs in like a triangle. So there's work-life balance, there's pay, and then there's just like what you enjoy doing. And most jobs only hit 2 of those categories. Now, a dream job could be something that hits 3 of those categories for you, right? So maybe that's how you take a look at it. You might be wondering why I'm making this video. Recently, a lot of people have been reaching out to me saying that, hey, Discord is my dream job and I'd love to work there. So do you have any advice? And I'm gonna be honest, Discord was my dream job too. I remember when I was in my first job out of college, one of my friends got recruited to go to like a Discord game night. And so my friend took me with him to go hang out at the Discord office. And it was game night, so everyone was there. There was like Super Smash Bros. Playing in the background. The Discord office was really cool. There's like a bunch of arcades, there was food, all of this, right? And it was such a cool experience. I remember my friend was talking to the hiring manager, and I was like, you know what? I'll shoot my shot too. So I went up to him and I was like, yo, I'm a software engineer too. Like, oh, Discord is so cool. Like, I game a lot. Like, oh, it'd be a good match. And I actually got reached out to by a recruiter. I got to talk to them. I was like, here's my experience, my work experience, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I got rejected after that first recruiter call. Reason that they rejected me was because I didn't have enough experience. And that's valid. I think Discord at the time was only mostly hiring like senior level engineers. And I was like 6 months into my first job. I was nowhere near that level of, engineering skill. So I get it, but it hurt so bad. It was a stark contrast to where I was currently, because my current job was like security focused. It was kind of boring, and like I wasn't interested at all in the product. And I'm very much like a product engineer. If I don't build something that people use, like, what's the point? That's like kind of how I feel about it. It was this idealized job that could be like, I could build things that a bunch of Discord users, me being a Discord user too, could use every day. I was like, that would be so freaking cool. But I got rejected and it hurt like so bad. I remember feeling like crap for like weeks. But Discord remained a job that I really wanted to do. So later on in my career, when the opportunity came up to be a software engineer there again, I was like, yeah, I'll interview again and see how it goes. And I ended up getting the job. Yeah, it was honestly like a dream job at that moment. But it's been it's been hard recently, not gonna lie. There's points in your career where what you want out of a job matches up perfectly with what the job can give you. And this is what I said back to like the definition of what a dream job is where your personal interests match up with the company's needs. There was points like right in the beginning of when I was working at Discord where it was like such a perfect match. I was like, this is the perfect job. I get to work on really cool tech, work with really cool people, build really cool things. Like it all matches up. It's great. But then the job progresses and you end up getting assigned things that you don't want to do. There's not stuff that you find interesting, but it's stuff that the business needs you to do. And so slowly across the time that I've been working there, it just felt more and more like a job rather than a dream job. Like there was nothing ideal about it. Apart from just what I had to do, nothing changed, right? The people are still great, like the product's still good, like it's cool to work on. But what I had to do day to day burnt me out so bad. It was insane. It just felt, and it felt kind of bad. Like I idealized Discord so much, and it's a lot of other people's dream job too. So it felt bad when I felt like I don't want to work there. Like I don't want to do this. Like I don't know. It just felt bad that I didn't enjoy it. Like I should be enjoying it. It's what I worked for so long to get. Which is why I believe like I don't think anyone should really idealize jobs and position jobs as your dream job. Like I just think that's not great for you mentally. So the first thing that's bad is like when you get rejected, obviously there's like disappointment in that. But then there's also like you feel like you're letting the job down or letting yourself down because it's something that you should really like. And I just don't think people should need to think like that. I think sometimes a job can just be a job and that's it. Like no one should dream of working. So I just don't think the concept of a dream job just seems like not real to me. No one should dream of labor, right? Your dream should be to do whatever you are passionate about and not care about money, right? That's like the ideal world where you can just do what you want to do in life. But that's not how life works, obviously. So there's also a lot of weird tech culture around if you're not hustling and if you're not constantly productive, then you're not successful. Like, I think people say if you feel comfortable, then you're doing life wrong. I think that's stupid. I think that's dumb. People can enjoy different things. Not everyone wants to constantly feel productive. And I think that's one of the things that I want to work on is that sometimes it's hard for me to just sit down, do nothing for a day, and then feel good about myself afterwards. I feel like I failed myself. And that's a bad spot to be in. Don't think like that, okay? If you want to just sit on a couch all day, watch your favorite show for 8 hours, do it. And that's great because you were productive, because you know what you did? You had a good time and you had a mental health day for yourself. So don't feel bad about it. Like, what is being productive gonna do for you? Like, there's no need to overwork yourself or do any of that. So just take a chill. Don't think that you live to be productive. It's really weird because when you're in tech, I feel like a lot of people really judge you as a person based on where you've worked. I think, like I mentioned, one of the reasons I wanted to work at Google was because it would be on my resume and it would be like a chance to get other jobs because the people would see that I had Google on my resume. And it kind of sucks. I remember like in SF, when I used to live in SF and we'd go to parties or whatever, one of the first questions people ask you is like, where do you work? It's not like, who are you or some other interesting fact about you. It's like, oh, what do you do? And it's like, well, I'm a software engineer at X is like what you usually hear. Putting so much emphasis on career, especially in tech, is like kind of crazy. One of the underlying things about a dream job is also finding something that kind of fulfills you. So one of the things about Discord that I really liked was that I felt fulfilled. And I think it's a bad mentality for some reason. I think I've grown up to feel like, my job is the goal. Whatever I do, like the job is what makes me successful. And so at Discord, I also found fulfillment in the success, right? Not only did I actually land a really good job, I also felt like fulfilled. I felt happy and I didn't need too much more outside of that to feel happy. And I hate that. I think jobs should not be your purpose. At least for me, I don't think that's a great thing. I think it's great if your job does provide you purpose. I just didn't like that. Like when my job stopped providing me purpose, what else was I supposed to do to find it? Now it's like, what do I do to feel fulfilled? I can't answer that question. I think I have to find a hobby.
Oh my god.
So I gotta figure something out. But yeah, I think that was the other thing. I wish that I didn't put so much emphasis on how much of my life is consumed by my job. I think this video kind of branched out from me feeling very burnt out and not super happy. And I mean, it's funny because my last video was also like that before I took like a really long break off YouTube. But I hope this advice or this video helped you a little bit. And if you liked it, be sure to leave a comment and a like and subscribe and all the stuff. I read a lot of the comments in the I Hate Coding one. I read most of them and responded to most of them. So it's really nice to see how many people like this style of videos. So please leave a comment saying how you feel about this and how you feel about your own job. But yeah, I hope this helps you. Dream jobs are dumb. Don't dream about labor. Find some hobbies that interest you and do cool stuff. All right, bye. All right, that's the video. All right, cool. Okay. All right, bye now. Am I recording? Okay, it is, yeah. Holy shit, imagine if this wasn't recording. Oh my God, I talked for like 30 minutes.